All right. Here we are, unfortunately. I'm Danny, and I'm here with Boat.
I'm Boat.
And I'm also here with our esteemed guest and unfortunate victim today.
Yay.
Isabel.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Isabel's gonna play a video game in quotation
I
marks.
am.
I don't know if you've all noticed yet, but we're
there.
doing FNAF. So that's neat.
I've never played this game before.
I've played, it's so odd. I think a lot of the people who played FNAF on YouTube have done it when FNAF was like blowing up, and we are certainly not doing
We're
that.
a little late to the hype on that one.
We're certainly not riding any waves here.
Yeah.
We're making
my only
them
experience.
trendsetters. Decappa, subscribe.
Decappa nostalgia train.
Fuck you,
Hell
nostalgia for like a how old is 7-year-old game now?
The only times I ever have like played FNAF have been on like friends' iPads on like sleepovers. And I guess we can just hop right into it.
Are you guys do you guys have your lights off? Are you getting the full cinematic horror experience?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, we should turn the lights
Yeah,
off.
turn off the lights.
Yeah.
Make it maximum creepy. I want the jump scare reactions. I wish we had a webcam.
Oh God. I want you guys to know that Danny's next to me as I'm playing this, and if he does something to scare me, like if he like jumps at me or something,
folks, I would never.
I would give you credit for that.
We will start to explain our philosophy and our reasons for doing this and kind of our plan. Because trust me, we have a plan.
This was thought out, I swear.
Unfortunately, we'll get into that in a little bit. But
they have a plan. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, let's start. We're gonna do new game.
Somehow, Isabel is blind. Let's go, gamers. Freddy Fast Bear's Pizza.
Family Pizzeria looking for a security guard to work the night shift, 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Monitor cameras, ensure safety of equipment, and don't leave enough time for anybody to read that.
First night.
We're just listening to dude.
Yeah.
This is critical lore. And since the lore is the only thing even slightly redeeming about this video game, getting the opinions in early folks.
We got a lot of opinions.
This guy
I have
is
a lot.
Weird. The duck guy.
That's Chica the chicken.
People want to fuck it.
Oh.
In case you were curious.
By the way, that is an accurate representation of how the distribution of knowledge will be for the continuation of this series.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
You're gonna say
I know...
something, and I'm gonna say it stinks.
No, I think it's more so the fact that my knowledge was related to the character's name and yours was related to people wanting to have sex with it.
Well, you know, I provide a valuable service.
However, what you said is also correct.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
The only characters I know are Freddy and Nightmare Foxy. Those are the only characters I know.
Let's see what let's keep hearing phone guy.
Did he just say and death?
Yeah.
Yeah. Every now and again. You're supposed to be making crazy reactions, Isabel. Come on.
Yeah, you're supposed to like have these crazy reactions.
You're losing them. You're supposed to be going like, what?
Folks, how are we gonna get the retention time if you're not?
Oh, shit. You're supposed to have been jump scared 6 times by now. What are you doing? What are you doing? God. God, the avenue.
What is this cupcake thing?
Oh, I think that's like Alfonso or something. I don't know.
I think you can click on it.
Can I?
No, you can boop Freddy's nose though.
Can I?
That's it. That's it. There's a clickable thing in the I don't think it does anything.
Can I do?
But it does boop it.
I
think it's just nowhere near the most egregious instance of clicking random shit in your office room in this series, believe it or not.
I would recommend starting to check the cameras.
Okay.
Would you?
I think so, because Phone Guy ain't talking anymore. By the way, his canonical name is Phone Guy. I don't know.
Last, yeah.
Until MatPat finds out that his canonical name is like Jeffrey or something.
Jeffrey.
I'm like pinching myself right now because I'm like, I don't want something to jump out of me, but I know it's gonna happen at some point.
So
at what point, Danny, am I allowed to explain how the game actually works?
Let's just leave it like this.
Let's leave.
In the spirit of what we're trying to do,
God damn.
And speaking of, let's explain what we're trying to do here. We thought it would be neat. We thought it would be a neat thing if we played FNAF on the channel, because in a lot of our own personal, private conversations, oh look, Bonnie's gun.
Oh,
that's neat. You should check the other cams.
I'm gonna burp.
In a lot of our own personal conversations between Boat and I, we have used FNAF on many occasions as a reference point for game design and for general conversation about game design principles.
There's music.
And not just like basic game design principles, but also just about the very nature of like creating games and marketing games as a whole. It's FNAF is a fascinating case study. Now, generally, Boat and I both agree that FNAF is not a good game franchise. We generally agree on this fact. However, oh look, Bonnie's not in there anymore. Wild.
Yeah, I think.
However, I am slightly more optimistic about the game than Boat is. I think this game and its fandom is very entertaining. I love watching a good MatPat video about how many buttons are on a Freddy torso and about how Golden Freddy has 50 names. I think now's a good time to tell you have doors on either side of you in the office that you can manually close, and also lights that you can use to see right outside your door. But
everything that you do, as you may have noticed, drains battery. You have a limited amount of battery, and the more things that you're doing at a time, like looking at the camera, turning the lights on, keeping the doors closed, you zuck up more battery. You can tell by that little usage bar in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen.
Yeah.
For some
you're
reason,
using a lot of battery right now.
Fall down to close.
You might want to use less.
Might want to use what?
Might want to use less.
Not to break the immersion too hard. I think.
What's that?
Jump scare. You're supposed to go ah. Why aren't you going ah? Scream. Retention time. Ad revenue.
20%.
Yeah, you
buddy.
It may behoove you to open the doors.
Oh boy.
Just a general gameplay tip. Open the doors for now.
You might want to turn off that light. But anyway, we thought we wanted to transfer some of that conversation about FNAF and about like just game design in general into a recorded medium. You know, we thought this might be the kind of content people wanted to see. Maybe not. We don't really know if we'll be able to come up with any kind of entertaining version of this conversation that we sometimes have for you folks. But we thought we would try, and that we would bring on a neutral party. I'm here to defend FNAF as much as my heart will allow it. And Boat is here to slander it. And maybe we will
libel.
Maybe we will see eye to eye sometimes, and we'll try to have some dope conversation. And it'll be very radical.
This wasn't like this before.
I didn't know that could happen on night one.
That is fascinating. Huh.
But you did it, you won.
God, I thought you were gonna die. I thought for sure you were gonna die. I was like, I have no idea.
Wait, that was it?
Yeah,
that's
that was
night one.
Oh.
There are in
Five-
fact 5 nights at
What?
Freddy's.
That that would make sense.
Anyway, you do want to check the cameras,
Okay.
like a lot. Because like they'll
Well-
always be visible on the cameras, and if they're not, then they'll be right outside your door, or they'll be eating your face off.
I don't mean to. Well, you should check the cameras for Foxy.
Well, let's
You should put the camera down eventually, by the way. Just a
for
general
all that
tip.
we joke
I know.
about this game not being scary, I think fundamentally it is a very human trait to not like getting jump scared. By the very nature of what jump scares are, they initiate a fight or flight response.
Nobody
and
likes to.
and
be
that's
jumped.
why this game is effective as it is, right? As being like,
Well-
oh, it's so scary. It's because jump scares will get you. Like jump scares are horror's cheapest trick, and they work. You know. At the end of the day,
spooks,
they just
the
work.
jump scares, which are the main spooks of the
Oh.
game. I shouldn't say that word.
Hi.
The main scares of the game
On the other side.
How's it going?
are effective, but a jump scare is just as effective if a Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic does it as if I were to do it in real life to you right now.
Agreed.
Did this camera just cut off?
No, so this is
No, this isn't the kitchen.
So the reason that it does this is because if the camera is off, that means there's movement. Because this game doesn't render movement, because that would take effort. So if there's going to be movement, the cameras just turn off for a minute, and the movement happens while the cameras are on.
That way you can't just keep the camera on to stop them from moving.
That too.
Although, even if you
Keeping
did, I feel like the
camera
battery
on
would
them, by the
punish
way,
you.
Doesn't
Anyway.
do a ton anyway. You just generally want to look at the camera pretty quickly, because what you really care about is checking the lights, because the animatronics can only get you if they come here, and if they come here, you'll see them on the lights.
This is correct. But
Now-
yeah, like at the end of the day, it is of great interest for me that Isabel does play well here, because I do not
It
want
is
to get jump scared. Like we will, we'll talk about this game being bad or whatever bad principles that might exist
Oh.
within
About
this
game
game.
being bad. Yeah, there's Chica. She's unhinging her jaw. It's creepy imagery.
But fundamentally,
Wait,
will
does she
say-
have teeth inside her mouth and like on her beak?
well, yeah, there's the endoskeleton teeth, and then there's the outside part of the mascot suit teeth. It's fun.
people want to have sex with her.
I, as a
Um,
human being, do not want to be jump scared, and that'll
There
always
is
be in this game.
a fun series of tricks that you can learn to figure out when the jump scares will come. And I will not
Oh,
be
this
spooked by them.
this
I'll
guy's
pull
here now.
I like the idea because that's like the storage closet. I like that a lot of the times, the animatronics are moving around. I like that Bonnie fully walks into the storage
I don't
closet,
like that.
walks into the back of the storage closet, and
Why?
then just stands against the wall.
I mean, why is a question you could ask about a lot of things in the Five Nights at Freddy's series of video games.
Oh, lovely. They're moving.
Why do the
48%.
animatronics?
By the way, you have to make
are
it to
able to
6
do this?
6 a.m.
6 a.m.
Yeah, 6 a.m. and you're using max power and it's only 2 a.m. Better
You're not at
open
max
the
yet,
doors,
but
maybe?
you are
Not at
using a
max.
lot
You
of
were at
power.
max when you have the camera up. Also, I'd like to make a correction just in case someone in the comments is Bartholomewing on me. There is one instance of movement on the cameras that I believe Danny knows about. Isabel will probably learn about it soon because this is her first time playing the game.
One instance that truly matters, yeah.
One instance where movement on the cameras actually matters.
Oh.
By the way,
That was
it's
pretty.
me random. I don't actually know this fact.
I don't
Because
know. It's like a random thing that can happen.
We've gotten it more than
do
I
you
ever
guys
remember.
hear that knocking?
That means that they are at the door. I think it means that they tried the door and they should
I
be
think
gone
that
now.
means that Foxy was at the door, actually. I think that's what happens.
Oh yeah, you hear like a thud or something.
You hear thuds, and each thud drains some of your power.
Oh yeah, you're at 25. Oh boy.
You are
Night
stuck
one,
in the
folks.
power. If we run out of power, you'll see a jump scare, and you'll get to hear a nice little song from Carmen to go along with it.
Who's Carmen?
Yep. The show, the musical.
Oh.
So yeah, welcome to FNAF, folks. I think we are nearing
Peak gameplay.
our first
We're
brush
probably
with
going to be jump
mortality.
scared pretty soon. Brush with mortality. Yeah, we're going to have to start over.
I
Unless
don't
we can
really know
squeeze
what I'm
this
doing.
12%. You'll figure it out eventually. Once you learn what not to do, it becomes pretty much just a game of not doing what not to do and hoping that you don't die.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There it was. You need to check the camera to prevent Foxy from coming out. You need to look at the Pirate Cove intermittently because if you don't check it often enough, he'll do that.
What did we sign up for? Why?
You've played this game. I've played this game. You know
I've played this
exciting.
game very briefly, but like, I know we were talking about doing this, but I mean, holy crap!
Oh,
Are you spooked?
there's someone right there.
You're
I'm
scared, you're
tired.
startled. So there is someone right there, Isabel. You should check the light
Yeah,
because
the light.
their location really
But you shouldn't
doesn't
keep
matter.
the light on. You should flash the light.
Yeah, you
Like,
should
if
flash the light because if they're there, they will be right there and you'll see them and it'll actually make a noise too. It'll make a little woo.
Yeah.
it's
So
not-
don't leave the light on. You
yeah,
left the light
don't
on, I
hold
think.
down the light.
On
Don't
the other
look
side,
at the
maybe.
You
No,
don't
never mind.
actually. You do not benefit from looking at the camera feed because the game only checks because it doesn't have an eye tracker. It only checks that you flicked up and looked at Pirates Cove. By the way, look at Pirates Cove. It's been like 30 seconds. Come on.
I have no idea what I'm.
Pirates Cove is cam 1C. So Foxy
Yeah, the
will
curtain-
sometimes decide that he's gonna run at you, and
You don't
he
gain
does-
anything from looking at it for an extended period of time. You just need to look at it for like a split second, and then you can put the camera back down for all the game cares. As far as satisfying the check is concerned.
Oh,
There he is, close the
okay.
door. That's what happens when they get close.
then flash the light again.
Yeah, flash the light. If there's a shadow in the window, the other light.
No, the other.
The light on the
other
left. If there's a shadow, he'll still be there, and if there's no shadow, yeah, you can.
There's no.
Yeah,
Close it, yeah, close the door. Open the door and then try the light again.
yeah. Try the light one more time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
he's fine.
gone.
He's gone. But yeah, that's the only situation. Looking at Pirates Cove and flashing the lights on the doors is the only situation in which you're really interacting with these animatronics. Everything else is kind of for
Woo.
show.
So now that you've kind of been explaining this gameplay, Boat, what do you think about it? Like in this first game.
So this game fucking sucks. Like,
I mean, in
from
a way, it's a
gameplay
puzzle.
perspective.
Right? Like
It is a bit of a puzzle, really. When you're playing this game the first time, the trick is to figure out what matters, and then when you figure out what matters, you just do that stuff. And you can break it down into like a pattern of hand movements and flicks of the wrist. It's really, honestly, it's kind of like doing any number of puzzly games. You figure out the right pattern of when to look at what and what to look at when. I said the same thing twice. Redundancy. But in that sense, yeah, close that door, by the way. In that sense, you don't need to hold down the light, by the way. No, it's not a good game.
No, it's not a good
because
game.
For as interesting as it might be on some level to figure out how the game works, these mechanics are very surface level. When you figure them out, there's an interesting little side effect because this is a horror game. And horror is at its most effective
Why is
when
he
you
still
don't quite understand what's going on.
Yeah. Or when
And
you
when
feel
you're able,
actually in danger.
when you feel in danger, when you don't know what's going on, when it feels like there's a human element of sorts. In this game, the minute you begin to break these things down, once you start to be able to understand, and I won't spoil things like this for you, or at least I'll try
Oh,
not to.
there's
Once you
that
begin to
guy.
understand when you're going to be jump
Oh, there's
scared,
that guy.
how to not be jump scared, and things like that. Sure, it might be like a neat little time sink to flick your wrist back and forth and try and make it, through the super hard modes or whatever. But it's not going to be an effective horror experience in the slightest. Yeah. I lost my train of thought, Danny. What were we talking about before we foxied it up?
I mean, we're talking a lot about
I'm
this.
just gonna close the doors because I'm at 1%.
I don't know if we spend enough time on 5 a.m. I think we're gonna get jump scared.
I think we die here.
I think it'll be Bonnie this time. I don't think it's always Freddy.
No, it's always Freddy.
Just brace yourself. Is it always Freddy when it goes to 3 or to no power? I thought
Yeah,
it was
it's always
sometimes
that.
the other two. Okay, well, brace yourself, I guess. We might die.
Here we go.
Do 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 do.
Wahaha hooey.
Do 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 do.
Oh boy. Oh boy, gamers.
Then the lights go a little darker. Blah.
Yeah. I mean, at least it gives you a quite a bit to like prepare yourself. It's not like it's not unexpected.
It's me, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the lore as we get into more like of the lore heavy games.
The games that have lore, yeah.
Now, what about this game do you think made it take off? Like I obviously think this game has a lot of that potential for there wasn't a lot of stuff circulating around this time that was like this, and frankly it is a good game to like react to, and it creates good reaction. It has a good simple aesthetic.
This game has a good premise, scary Chuck E. Cheese, not Chuck E. Cheese animatronics.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You can put the animatronic in a thumbnail and write the video title "Warning: Scariest Game in Years" and get 30 million views. That makes sense. That's plausible. And you can chalk up the success of this game just as much to Scott Cawthon and to this game's creativity as you can to the amount of content creators that saw something in it. And in a way, that's almost more valuable than the consumers seeing something in it.
And now,
although I'm sure there was some of that allure too. Because, it's a scary game, and it's a scary game on Steam, and people like them.
And we'll probably get into this more in like the next episode, but most of this game's success, in my opinion, comes from just Scott Cawthon knowing how to capitalize off of.
It's true.
Because
how long are you gonna stand there, bud?
Well, you don't have to worry. Like, the only cam that you really have to check is Foxy's.
You only have to check Foxy's cam. The other animatronics locations don't matter unless you can see them in the light.
It won't use a lot of power.
If you can see them in the light, you need to close the door. Otherwise, their location doesn't matter because they can't affect you and you can't affect them unless they're right here.
But, I mean, truly, just like we live in a world where in order for something to succeed, most of the time, the key is you need consistency, right? You need to be able to get a lot of that content out there. People want that instant gratification. People want to be like, ooh, I like this, I want more. And these standards are different in different industries. For YouTube content creation, if you start to blow up, you need to be able to capitalize on that success that week, right? If you make a type of video and people like it, you need to be able to release that sequel as the new people are coming in, right? People don't like waiting. And for video games, oftentimes, frankly, like good...
I mean, the cycle's a little slower for video games, but this
cycle is being able to release a game every year. Releasing a game every year is amazing. And the fact that Scott Cawthon, like this game, it's something you've talked about a lot. It's such a bare bones game. you know, it's you've called it
A gift set.
A gift set a lot of times.
Oh my!
Whoa.
So
Yeah, you
what happened there? Basically,
Mm.
now that we've seen it, I'll kind of explain the mechanic of it. When for Bonnie and Chica, this is true. Bonnie and Chica, when they're outside your door, you need to check the lights, because if they're outside your door, or if they're doing that steppy innie animation that we've seen Bonnie do a couple of times, and you don't look and you instead put the camera up, when you pull the camera back down, you will be jump scared. So yeah, now you know. Just for the sake of not running into that
Well,
issue again.
I don't know like when they're there. Like I don't know. Like I'm just checking the lights because I'm checking.
Yeah,
the
you
lights.
just have to constantly
Right.
check.
You
lights.
just have to look at the lights. It's
So
more
at the
valuable
end-
than looking at
At
the
the end
game.
of the day, this specific game in the franchise is very simple. I don't remember exactly how Freddy works, but basically all you have to do, and what you have to think about, and forget everything else. Your cameras are always on Pirate Cove.
Right. When you pull the
Foxy.
camera up, it's Pirate
That's
Cove.
the
Don't look at
camera that
anything else. When you
gives
put it
you
down, it should still be on
information
Pirate
you
Cove.
Your cycle is just flash one light. If no one's there, flash the other light. If no one's there, check the cameras. If Foxy's still there, repeat. You know? And if at any point in that, if someone's at one of the doors, you close the door. And if Foxy's not at Pirate Cove, you close that right door as well. And that's just kind of the ball game. That's
you
it.
can beat the entire game on the hardest difficulty on the hardest night by doing that over and over.
Of course, there's a lot of RNG.
There is a lot of
Yeah.
RNG. Not as
And,
bad as in some other games in the series that we'll
random-
get to eventually. Random
just-
number generated.
Yeah, there's just
Um,
a lot of randomness related to how
Sometimes
fast.
you will just get bad luck, and Bonnie and Chica will both bum rush you, and you'll drain a bunch of power and die at like 3 a.m. But
just you don't have to check it that fast, but that is a good habit to get into.
on night 3, if we can afford a little bit of leniency, we can just kind of generally adhere to Pirate Cove, light, Pirate Cove, light. And we'll probably be fine, because night 3, we're fine. The Foxy's
But
not
yeah.
even doing shit.
But as I was saying, in the game development cycle, I mean, a year is mostly generally accepted as a good like amount of time to release. Like that's great. If you can release a game every year in a franchise, that's awesome for that franchise.
Luckily for Scott Koth.
Four in 1 year, which the first 4 games of this franchise released in under a year, which is insane. That's
He made
fantastic.
4 gift sets in 1 year. It's fantastic for content creation. It's fantastic for publicity. I won't deny that.
I mean, truly, just that gaming scene and Scott Cawthon himself and this franchise just fed off of each other for that year. These games were built perfectly to be able to be reproduced at such a large, on such a large scale. I mean, there's so much about this game that makes it perfect for going viral. Even the fact that and a lot of it has to boil down to its simplicity, to the many reasons why we'll talk about bad game design here. Frankly, it's just simple game
for
design.
all the same reasons that it's not an effective horror game, it's a very effective marketing strategy.
Now.
Hey,
It's a very
Foxy.
phenomenon. And it's not,
It
not
also
fun for a lot of people to play. Obviously, people.
no, of course. Well, something that helps with that. I've said this before. But the demographic of people that enjoy this game is mostly young boys that watch Markiplier. Markiplier is my go-to example. Young boys that spend a lot of time on YouTube.com. That's it. That's the whole statement.
Yeah, I mean,
The type of people that want to have sex with Chica the animatronic robot.
I mean, and Scott Cawthon wasn't really looking for this. I mean, we can never truly know, but I'd imagine Scott
No,
Cawthon
not
wasn't
like-
like strategizing. One of my funniest things in the early days was people would be like, Scott Cawthon, he's this mastermind, and we'll talk about this concept more when we talk about the lore. But like, I do not think Scott is in any way an unintelligent person. If he
I don't
was,
think he's a very good game designer, but he's
we
probably
would
not
not
stupid.
still be talking about FNAF today. You know what I mean? Like, the fact at the end of the day is, however, I mean, you know, he never. I don't think you can't reasonably expect this. People who talk about like he had everything planned out from the beginning. It's like I think he just really knew how to roll with each of the.
He's
punches.
not gone. He's still there. Scott. I mean, you know that he didn't have it planned out from the very beginning because, as was actually stated, as I seem to recall, I promise I didn't watch this video recently. I just have a stupid memory. As I seem to recall, in the Game 3 video about this first video game, before any of the other ones were out, it was mentioned that Scott was fully prepared for this to be the last video game he would ever make.
Yeah.
If it didn't succeed, he would go back to copying the Bible word for word or something. So to say that he had all these grand plans for the lore, whatever you think of the lore notwithstanding, to say that it was planned from the very first is just factually incorrect.
And of
That's
course,
not to say that he can't have done a good job picking up the slack and following up on the hype and making certainly, to say nothing of the second game yet, making a suitable follow-up to carry this game's momentum. It's commendable as a business move, and I'll never not say that because it's true. But that doesn't make it an effective horror game or a good video game. An effective video game. I shouldn't say good. An effective.
Now, yeah, and of course that doesn't mean like the way I see it, because and we're starting to get ahead of ourselves, but like
door.
Ooh,
yeah, sorry, keep going.
No, the way I see it, no, it's a good say. The more time I'm sorry, yeah. But like obviously a lot of people think that like game 2 was pretty strong and that game 3 was less strong. But at the end of the day, I say it a lot. The second thing you do of something should probably be better than the first. And then after that, you just need to make sure you're in the same ballpark as the first.
You just got to make sure it's functional.
You prove that you can make something better. You know? It's the same thing with like YouTube videos and with entertainment in general.
Important follow-up.
You know, if you can have that momentum to begin with, then you can start to waver after that.
Right. And again, not to get ahead of ourselves, I do generally agree with you. That's kind of the pattern that was followed, and there's nothing wrong with that as far as being monetarily successful. In fact, there's a lot right about it as far as being monetarily successful.
But I mean, let's go back to talking a little bit.
Regardless of what you could say about the games, their release pattern and development schedule was perfect for fueling that pattern of content creation and all that fun stuff. So hey, clap, clap. What were you gonna say? Sorry. Did Danny get jump scared in real life? Where is he?
He's here.
He's gonna come back and go, yeah.
My phone turned off, so I can't hear you. I had it.
Danny can't hear me. I could say anything. Quick, say something that was cut from an earlier video. Silver medal.
Silver medal.
In light of playing this game that people love for the lore, we're going to start talking about the Decappa YouTube channel lore. How's that cheese factory going, Danny?
4, you got good power for being at 4.
Yeah, 4 a.m. When it gets to 5, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a put the doors down and spoon shit out your own ass type of situation. This is a good run of night 3 of Five Nights at Freddy's. Copyright Scott Cawthon, 2014. But yeah, I mean, this is the gameplay pattern. If it's not the most visually interesting thing, hey. The idea, because again, Scott's not a stupid man. I'm calling him by his first name. We're like that. We're pals. We're buds.
Your buds with Scott. Oh, I like that.
The idea is that your enjoyment of the game at this point is still riding on the general tension and of you not having unraveled and understood its game mechanics as of yet. The fact that we have is because I'm here and I'm a pedantic piece of shit. You'd probably be having a better time if I wasn't constantly yapping in your ear and you were able to absorb what atmosphere this game does manage to have, which admittedly isn't terrible. I mean, look, it's doing its me's. Which, by the way, the it's me is, as far as I'm aware, completely random. You can be jump scared by it. I don't know what leads to that, what causes that, if anything.
So is there like a timer that like the hours go by? Like
Yes.
how long are the hours that go by?
Gosh, I don't know, like 2 minutes a piece. One night is about 10 minutes is usually what I go by. So I don't know. I'm bad at math. It's 5 a.m. night 3. You could just close the doors.
So, question.
Yeah.
You know when you're on this and like the curtain opens and then you start seeing him out in front of the curtain?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Do you always like see it in that order, or does he just like randomly disappear altogether?
So theoretically, there's like a progression where the curtain will slightly be open, the curtain will be slightly open, and you can see him, yada, yada, yada. Functionally, as far as you seeing and reacting to it, it only matters if he's gone. Because if he's not gone, then he's there and he's not going to jump scare you. So he's not, if he's not gone, he's not going to jump scare you. I said the same thing twice. I forgot what I was going to say. Eventually, Freddy speeds up enough that you can just put the door up or down when you pull up the camera. But for right now, you just have to check both Pirate Cove and the camera that's right outside of the right door, which is camera 4B. So Pirate Cove 1C and East Hall Corner 4B. And you just have to camera, click, click, light, and light.
This one?
And then camera, click, click, light, light. Check in there for Freddy and there for Foxy. For about 10 minutes of real time. And if it works, it works. And if game decides to kick you in the nards, then game kicks you in the nards.
Scott Cawthon kicks us in the nards. I think we've already said Scott Cawthon has kicked me on the nards in this channel. He's one of the repeat offenders.
Scott Cawthon just likes to kick the nards of unsuspecting passersby. It's not very nice.
So rude. Yeah.
See, that's so BS because I played that round really well.
Yeah, you did not do anything wrong. You are correct. You are just right.
Ugh.
You played correctly. Brace yourselves for the scare.
Any minute.
Can it just be 6 a.m., guys?
I don't think it will be.
No,
Look
it's
at
just
it.
trying to get your hopes up again. Ah! 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 Like, comment, subscribe.
Honestly, though, it could have been worse. 4 a.m.
Yeah, you got pretty far.
We could get like halfway through 5 a.m. before the power goes off.
Yeah. I mean,
We'd be.
if we want to try again, do we care? Do we want to?
Do you want to try again?
It's up to you, Isabel. You're the one playing. If you don't want to, then that's just as much a statement on the game as anything Danny or I can say.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna leave it up to Danny, I guess.
How about we do one more?
Let's try one more time, gamers.
If it doesn't go well, and it's likely it won't. I mean, that's fine.
Okay.
But that's just a theory.
Oh boy.
You can probably wait a few seconds before having to turn on the lights, but maybe not.
What kind of fucking restaurant runs on this type of power?
Yeah.
I mean, the year is at least post 1987. So
There might be an exact time.
yeah,
but I don't know.
something minimum wage. I'm frothing at the mouth just thinking about it.
Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that.
But regardless,
See, that's the kind of stuff that Scott Cawthon definitely did not think about.
I would hazard so far as to say that he didn't think about most of them.
Well, like he might have understood like kids died. This is the thing, but like all the little detail, the amount of buttons on Freddy's shirt.
Kids died might be a stretch. I think the most that he thought was these animatronics are dangerous. Because that's about as much as it needs for it to be effective.
I could buy that he was like, yeah, these animatronics are haunted. Maybe.
You know,
definitely by the second
the It's Me stuff, definitely, well, by the second game, sure, I bet he had that whole aesthetic in mind, but, you know, I could buy that he thought of that for this game. The minimum wage and the when does it take place and the prequel, sequel, prequel. That's all bullshit.
No, the sequel, prequel, sequel is canon. That's fully the way I think it was intended for. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. That's game 2.
Game 2.
I want to get too ahead of ourselves.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
That's
the
where I want to
where
be.
where the animatronics for this game are dilapidated. Oh look, they're doing it to you again.
Yay.
Boop, 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 doop, 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 doop. Hey, Freddy.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Is this where you want to be? I just don't get it. Why do you want to stay? Five Nights at Freddy's. Is this where you want to be? I just don't get it. Why do you want to stay? Five Nights at Freddy's. We're really quite surprised that we got to see you another night. You should have looked for another job. You should have said to this place goodbye. It's like there's so much more. Maybe you've been in this place before. We remember a face like yours. You seem acquainted with those doors. Please let us get in. Don't lock us away. We're not like what you're thinking. We are poor little souls with lost control, and we're forced here to take that role. We've been all alone, stuck in our little zone since 1987. Join us defend. After all, you've only got 5 Nights at Freddy's. Do 5 Nights at Freddy's. 5 Nights at Freddy's.
Killing me physically.
Is this where you want to be? I just don't get it. Why do you want to stay? 5 Nights at Freddy's. Is this where you want wanna be? I just don't get it. Why do you wanna stay Five Nights at Freddy's? Bam, bam, bam. Right, if we can make it to like 5.
Yeah, I think at this point, when the power goes out, the power goes out, and if we make it, we make it.
I don't think we will, but good run. You've mastered,
with
you know,
yeah,
like
you have literally gotten as good as you can get at Five Nights at Freddy.
God, so far. What the hell?
That's where I want to be.
No. Well, it was a good run. Well, folks, Isabel, what are your thoughts on this?
It might sit here for 2 whole minutes.
For 2 whole minutes? Yeah, Isabel, what are your thoughts on this game?
I don't like it.
You don't like it? You have any more to say about it than that? Like any?
The only thing is that, like, I feel like there's not much to it. Like, the kind of games I want to play, like, there's different obstacles and stuff, and you're literally just staying in one room the whole time, waiting, clicking things.
This is the simplest game, and I agree a lot with what you have to say there. I think we'll see these games evolve, and some of I'm very excited to talk about the lore, just because I think it's the most fun thing to talk about this game. But yeah, definitely. You know, what more is there to see? I don't know. We'll catch you up on anything that you missed, but I think it's like a paycheck. After this night, you get like a paycheck, and then after and you get to see it, and it's cool. And after the next night, you get to see like a slip that says you got fired for like bad odor or something.
Man, I bet that's got heavy lore implications, and I bet that was the plan all along.
Yeah, it was the plan all along.
Really thought about the bad odor, and it wasn't just a shitty joke.
That might be That might be game 2 actually, but anyway.
I think it's in this one too.
Might be. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Anyway,
I don't even know, guys.
Well, gamers, at Five Nights at Freddy's is where you want to be. You should like, you should comment, you should subscribe, and you should give me some money. And give these two some money too, because Isabel played the game, and Danny's nice. So
I'm gonna have to edit it.
And Jimmy
Danny's
should give me
some. Edit this shit.
Jimmy should give me some of his peanut M&Ms, because
I should give you some of the peanut M&Ms.
Oh, you?
No,
okay.
Me, my peanut M&Ms.
You said. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you didn't, but yeah. Well, folks, yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Tell us which FNAF game you want us to play next. Spoiler, it doesn't matter. Like them in chronological order.
Yeah, tell us which game you want us to play next.
We probably will do them eventually, but
we're gonna do them all right now, live on Zacappa.com/YouTube.
If you want to witness me hating my life as I played these games,
folks, that's a
time. Like, comment, subscribe.
We already did that. God damn it, that's a wrap.